The votes are in, and I tallied them up. At the time of recording this, it was a pretty even split between people saying I should do Chessed's invitation, and people saying you might as well go and do some of the invitations because that'll give me more options for pages to use for Chessed's department. And there was only really one vote that is the deciding factor here, and it was for invitations. I guess I've decided let's do one invite, and then I'll try Chesed. That being said, people said that the fights are going to be kind of difficult, so we'll see how difficult either one's going to be, whether or not I need to, like, go and do the other one, if this is going to be frustrating. But it was almost unanimous. People said that there's a specific order I'm supposed to do these fights in now. I'm supposed to do the one after R Corp, because it's essentially a filler episode and is, I guess, not so interesting to the story, but we'll learn a few things and I'll get a couple awesome pages. Then I'm supposed to do the one after the Red Mist, because apparently it's not really an interesting one at all. And that will give me a nice place to sort of rest and do some of the abnormality fights. That's what people were saying. I'm hoping I'm not getting trolled here. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. Because I always go left to right because it feels like left to right is just easier. What is going... That's a 4 acts. What are you talking about? Filler episode. This is a full meal. This is a 8-course meal. Okay, fine. Maybe the episode isn't so awesome, but the fight looks like it's going to be pretty cool.
이제 남은 건 몇
Nikolai?
분인가?
What? Wait. What? What's happening? I'm so confused. I have Nikolai. I killed everyone. What is going on? What do you mean Mio's the only one remaining? Did she get away? This is the 4th pack. And I'm asking silly questions, but I'm really confused. Let's figure this
그렇습니다.
out. Rudolph is there too?
어떤 묘가 이길지 내기 한번 할래?
What? Which Mio will win?
넌 질리지도 않는구나. 내가 저 지랄 맞은 토끼를 싫어하긴 하지만 이 광경만큼은 내키지 않아.
What's happening? What's going on? What is going on? My brain!
나 또 되졌나 보네.
Oh, it's a cloning thing. It's a cloning thing. That's what people were saying. When I said, I offhandedly mentioned, I'm going to make a whole department of Mios. People are kind of, I couldn't understand what was going on in the comments when I said that. Because there were so many people who mentioned it, or like liked the comments that mentioned when I said that. I didn't realize that this was next. Holy crap!
이 역 같은 걸 다시 반복해야 한다고?
They remember all of this? What's going on? Wouldn't the clones not know what's going on? Why do they know? Is that R Corp singularity? Do they make clones? And the clones remember everything that all of the clones had so that they can train them faster? And that's the whole Red Eye thing, is like they're pulling on all of their past experiences. That way they can train themselves. They can live out the experiences of thousands of individual soldiers and condense all of that training into one person to make them the best soldier that they can be? Is that what R Corp stands for? Recombination? Or, I don't know. I couldn't think of a good R word.
한두 번 하는 것도 아니고 왜 그리 찡찡거려?
4,213 Mios! All in a room with a knife. One singular knife. Who's going to come out? That's my guess, because it sounds like they have to fight to the death or something. But what do you mean you've been through this many times? How many times do each one of these clones cycle through this? And if this is the case, why did she complain so much about the recurring cycles that we had to endure? That she endured basically monthly. Because she's been through way worse.
자, 빠르게 정해보자고.
TT2 프로토콜 100배 출력으로 하루라니 에너지가 좀 많이 들겠는데요?
On top of the fact that she's probably cloned. And they have to fight to the death. And they're doing it at 100-fold output because of the TT2 protocol, this is our first time actually experiencing or learning about the time dilation or the time condension. Like, actually. People in the comments were telling me all about it. Because I remember back in Lobotomy, they're like, it's the TT2! I can't believe you don't know this thing! And I'm like, I don't know what a TT2 is! I don't even know what a TT1 is! But I could have pieced it together, because obviously it was, like, talking about it. So it wasn't really a big spoilery thing. I just was really confused back in the day. But this is my first actual look at it in action, besides what we experienced. Like, way back. If you think back into a more innocent time, when we didn't know about all the atrocities of the city, and Roland was just our special boy, and we didn't even know it yet. And now I get to see the aftermath for myself. So it costs a lot of energy. So they're trading energy for time. And then T Corp uses the warp train technology, which can shuttle people into a different plane of existence to keep them trapped there. So I think the singularity for warp is shuttling them off of the plane of existence, time and space. That's what the warp does. So if they really, really wanted to, it wouldn't take that long. But they do that in order to give time to T Corp. And T Corp then, I'm assuming, gives time freely to the warp trains for that. So all of the corporations are internetworking and intermingling like that. And this is what T Corp is giving R Corp. And in exchange, R Corp is giving T Corp energy, which I'm assuming they're getting from us. So that's how our role, how like we fit into the grand scheme of the puzzle. And that's, I think, why when everyone lost us, everything came crashing down. And that's because they didn't have enough energy production to go around. Again, it was like money is power, but money is nothing more than it's a symbol of the exchange of a good or service. That's it. It's just a symbol. It's just like a piece of paper that says, yes, you did a thing. So, as much as it says money is power in the city, it's not. The goods and services, that's what's powerful in the city. The money is just a representation of that. And our energy was a pivotal source of a good and service for a lot of these corporations. And without us, there was this massive void, this vacuum that's sucking everything into it. So not only did we not fix the world, we made it worse by what we did. That kind of stings a little bit.
보통 일주일은 주지 않습니까?
충분한 시간과 개체수가 있어야 한다는 건 나도 알지만 우리에게 시간이 없다.
100배 가속으로 하루면 3달이겠고.
면은 5,000마리 정도인가?
Oh, is this on a more grander scale than they've ever had before?
1만 명의 나하고 1년 내내 싸울 때는 정말 지옥이었는데 이번에는 예전보다 수월했지.
젠장!
Yes. Okay, so my other thought was correct. They do. They fight their own clones to the death to see which one of them is the best. Number 7's doing pretty good so far.
절반 정도 남았나? 옛날 생각나지 않아? 처음으로 날 죽였을 때
reminiscent, the good old days. But they remember it. They remember it. Oh God. Talk about getting cold and calloused by the world over time. Could you imagine? And they're just sitting around casually just watching. This guy's getting sick. He's the intern. He's new here. He didn't realize what he signed up for. But he's not going to question it because he's nice and comfy in a bed in the nest. So it's like, yeah, this is fine, I'm sure. They do this all the time.
손이 미친 듯이 떨렸는데. 잡담할 시간에 한 명이라도 더 죽여.
Yeah, get back to work, lazy bones. You gotta get done with this fast.
그럼 다시 한번 약관 설명하겠습니다. A사의 규정에 따라 복제 인간은 원본 포함 2명 이상, 기한은 7일 이상 도시에 존재하면 안 됩니다.
Oh, how fascinating. So only one person of a specific individual can exist. But that's not true. Many of them can exist, but they get 7 days. So that's why they speed up this process, so they can go through the killing really, really fast. So it doesn't creep over into the 7 days. Okay. Cool, I guess. I'm gonna keep going. This is so interesting.
해당 사항을 어길 시 R사의 날개 자격을 박탈하며 B사에 의해 폐업 처리될 겁니다.
Okay, and we're also learning a lot about the corporation. So A Corp, yes, as people had told me before, that is the head. A Corporation handles all the rules and regulations. B Corp seems to be the enforcer? It will lose its qualification as a wing and be shut down according to B Corp's regulations. No. A Corp establishes the rules. B Corp establishes the regulations of the rules. So A Corp says, no, this thing is a bad thing. You can't do it. B Corp says what happens to you if you do violate that law.
여기서 7일은 A사의 시간축을 기준으로 합니다.
And the 7 days is based on the time scale of A Corp. So as long as they slow A Corp down significantly, then everyone can do whatever they want for as long as they want. That's what I'm getting from this. I'm not thinking how to stay within the laws. I'm thinking of a way around them.
죽어!
Oh my god. Oh my god. Well, I guess there's probably nothing left to eat in there besides themselves. There's grass. Eat the grass. You talk about it all the time.
젠장, 2달째 사람 고기야.
Okay.
게다가 내가 날 먹어야 한다니.
This is the one time they didn't have to spell it out. I got it instantly. They don't spell out all the really cool, intricate bits where if I miss it, I'm like screwed for an entire story. Like back with the cartel stuff, which I definitely got wrong. The cartel boss mentioned that Roland decimated the middle finger, not that they were part of the middle finger, and I missed that because I was so focused on the pictures. I guess that's what I get for being a visual learner. But I got this one. This was pretty evident that they're not going to release wild animals into here. If they need to survive and eat, they have to eat each other. At least they're sharing. Look. See, 2 of them sit down. This one, not so much. This one's shooting everyone.
전에는 1년 내내 먹은 적도 있잖아.
Uh-huh. You mean like the last times that you did this?
왜 우리가 서로 죽여야 하는 거야? 지금까지 죽여놓고 모르겠어? 더 강한 묘를 뽑기 위해서지.
And they're talking about this over dinner. Raw, horrible meat that is just themselves.
숱하게 죽였으면서 정신이 망가지는 놈들도 있다니까. 같은 복제들인데 신기해.
Is that okay? Let's talk about that a second. I know this is just a filler episode, basically. It's super interesting, though. Everything that's going on, it brings up a lot of philosophical conundrums. If someone is a clone, does that guarantee that that clone will act exactly like the person, especially if they're given the exact same memories? Will the clone have this innate feeling that they are a clone? They are not the original. Or will they move on with life as if they're exactly the same person? That's the first one. So, and there's no way to really answer that besides, besides just a thought experiment. If we have a thought experiment of if there are 3 people who are clones of an original person, That gives us 4 people. Those 4 people never interact. They never know they're part of a cloning thing. They all have the exact same memories. Will they act the same? Or will they act according to what the original would have done? Super interesting thought experiment. And I would argue that yes, up to a certain point, but there is a divergence point the second that they are conscious. I won't say that the second that they are made. I will say the second that each one of them regains consciousness from whatever procedure there was, and they start on their own path in life, that's the moment that all of them diverge. Similar to like the butterfly effect. And that's why each one of these clones act differently, because they've all seen and experienced slightly different things. Even if they're all in one big group in the center of this massive room, the same room, and they're going through the same experiences and the same experiments, and the same stuff's happening to them. Even if that's the case, each one of them is going to be different the second they take a step forward in a different direction, because they're witnessing things differently. The only way that they're all going to act completely the same is if they all somehow can stack on one another and do exactly the same thing in the same space. At least that's my take on it. Again, we don't have an actual answer, but my take on it is it's the butterfly effect. The second that they diverge from the same path, they are a different person. And that also goes into like the whole nature versus nurture thing, but we're not going to touch that right now because I could do like a whole hour on that. I love philosophical thought experiments. I love them to death. And this game, like, it tickles that part of the brain really good. I love this.
그래. 대부분 나는 이제 사람을 죽일 때 기분 째지는데 말이야. 죽여야만 살아남을 수 있으니까 그런 거잖아.
여담이지만 알사의 부하장, 그러니까 알사의 인간 복제기는 앞으로 작동하기 힘들 것 같습니다.
Oh, thank you also for spelling that out. I totally understood what was going on once you said hatchery, and there were a bunch of Mios.
엘사가 망하는 바람에 에너지를 받아올 것이 부족해졌거든요.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, that explains it. Like we were thinking before. You know, we talked about it. R Corp leaves them with like low energy, and since they don't have enough energy to keep the hatchery going at full capacity, that becomes problematic.
그런 이유로 W사도 비상이라고 하고요.
We really screwed over a lot of these corporations. Oh no, does that mean that there might be another energy war? I hope not. This world's already bad enough.
그렇겠지. 엘사만큼 후한 조건으로 거래한 곳이 없다고 총사령관에게 들었으니.
Now you understand why, right?
처음에 많이 울었는데.
Yeah, but then what? You decided to band together to become the most amazing group of Mios ever?
맞아. 내가 날 죽이라니.
I don't know about everyone else, but at some point, I would start putting together like a civilization of myself. I know that eventually we'd have to like turn on one another and it would get really bloodthirsty there at the end. But you could have like dance numbers and like singing. You could put on shows and stuff. It'd be kind of cool for a little while.
그 짓을 지겹도록 반복하니 이제는 숨쉬듯 죽일 수 있지.
Okay, and that's exactly what they wanted. They wanted someone that could not just take a life, but they also doesn't value their own life. And that's what this does. That becomes the perfect soldier then. Sort of. I don't know. I would argue that the perfect soldier values their life just as much as they value other people's life. Because then they have the wherewithal to make a conscious decision. They might not want that, especially in the city. It would probably be better just to have people who follow orders no matter what. But when you lose the personality of the soldier, I think you lose the soldier. Then you might as well just have an unmanned drone or something. That's just, you paint a target and just have it wiped out. That's just my opinion, though.
내가 날 죽이는데 남이라고는 못 죽일까? 그리고 결국 혼자 살아남은 것에 기뻐했지. 매번 죽다 살아남은 기억을 지닌 채 깨어나는 건 역 같았지만 그래도 이 지옥 같은 시간을 견딜 수 있었던 건 붉은 안개가 해준 말 덕분이지.
And this explains why she's such a fangirl of the Red Mist. Oh my god, it all makes sense now.
강한 놈이 살아남는 게 아니라 살아남는 놈이 강한 거라고. 뒷골목에서 멋지게 날코한 붉은 안개가 남긴 그 말 쩔었지.
Oh, and they all remember that. They all are hanging on that one moment, that one experience to survive this hellscape. No wonder they love her so much.
그럼. 이제 누가 살아남을지 다시 시작하자고.
Is that like a momentary parlay? Okay, time out. We have to go to the circle, the peace circle, where when you stand in here, you're safe as long as you're talking about the red mist. Second you step out of here or stop talking about the red mist, you're getting shot. I make light of it, but there's got to be like a safety space, right? There's got to be a spot where one of the Mio, or like all the Mios agree, okay, if you go here, this is where you can chill a second. But maybe not, because they want to just get this done as fast as possible, especially at this point. Maybe in the beginning you make like, this is safety spot, this is where we can sleep. But after a while, it's just, no, just end this super quickly. And then what stops them from, after a while, just ending it by taking their own life? Not the life of one of the other clones, but just like, why don't they just all off themselves except one? Because then they'll go through this whole process again and get chewed out because they're not doing it the right way? Probably, because it's really expensive, I'm assuming, to clone people and to time dilate like this.
제4무리의 부활은 이번이 마지막 기회일 겁니다. 이번에도 실패하면 다음은 없다고 생각하세요.
Oh no, okay, this is problematic. This is their last shot.
안 그래도 그렇게 생각한다. 더 우리에게 쓸 에너지는 없겠지.
끈질기게 살아남았네. 우리 둘 다. 더 망설일 것도 없지. 마지막인데 아쉬움 없이 끝내자고. 이거 보아하니 내가 제일 늦었구만.
토끼, 이렇게 보니 반갑군.
Oh, Rudolph's being nice. Oh, it makes me feel bad.
뭐? 네가 날 반겨?
Yeah, why are you being so nice? One horn?
젠장.
Oh.
야, 너네 또 내겠지?
Oh, another bet? Is that what's going
그래,
on?
635번.
635?
막심, 다음 술은 네가 사는 거다.
난 17번 묘가 감이 좋아 보여서 당연히 그 묘가 나올 줄 알았는데.
17번이 좀 까다롭긴 했지.
When they talk about this so callously, I get it. They've been through this. Each one of them has been through this a lot. It's weird being someone that's like an onlooker, someone looking in from the outside. Because it always makes me feel uncomfortable when they're so nonchalant about it. I shouldn't feel that way. We've seen so much grotesqueness in the city, and it's just everyone is used to it. But I can't turn it off. I don't know why. I just can't turn it off in my brain.
그나저나 막심, 당연히 술은 나도 사주는 거지?
당연하지. 그게 내기의 규칙이니까.
Oh, that's so sweet, actually.
대가 풀어 가볼까? 그 사서인지 뭔지 아는 새끼들한테.
Why? Why are you coming back? Library shouldn't let you guys back in. I don't need you. I already have the pages.
저게 알사 특이점의 정체였어?
Yeah, seems that way. It's just a hatchery. They just replicate. Oh, maybe it's replication. Maybe. Copy paste? Should be CP Corp.
복제 인간이 일주일 넘게 존재하면 안 된다니. 무슨 이유로 그런 이상한 기준을 정한 거지?
몰라. 별로 알고 싶지도 않아.
every rule is because someone broke it. Someone did a thing, so they had to establish a rule, which means that there was probably a point when there was an army of one individual, and they were growing too powerful. Maybe it was Roland. Roland has done horrible atrocities. It was Roland. Roland made massive clones of himself. They stormed A Corp, got decimated by the Claw. Is that what I remember they're called? Yeah, the Claw. Got decimated by the Claw. Binna was there. Definitely did something. And then they killed all but one Roland and set him loose. Like, okay, don't do it again. Pat, pat. Goodbye. And then they made a rule. No more cloning of Rolands. And if you have a clone of Roland, you can only have it for 7 days. Why the 7 days, though? That seems really interesting. This seems very niche. That tells me that other corporations have a reason to have more than one person around for an extended period of time. Because otherwise, they wouldn't have that caveat, that little nuance. It would just be like, no more than one person. And maybe it is just R Corp, and maybe that's why, or like, but I guarantee they wouldn't make that exception for a single corporation. So there's got to be other corporations that are using cloning tech for some reason.
죽은 인간을 복제할 수 있었다면 왜 나와 세피라드를 만든 거야?
Oh, sorry, we were talking about you right now, Angela. I was off on a tangent, my bad. He created you and the other Sephiroth because he couldn't let you go. He loved you too much.
조건 따위 아무래도 좋았잖아.
뭐 깊게 따지고 들어가면 저 기술이 만능이 아닐 수도 있어. 여러 가지 사전 준비가 필요하거나 뭐 무슨 허가를 받아야 한다거나 그 사람이 선택한 방법이 그 당시 상황에서 최선이었을 수도 있고.
Maybe he didn't have much choice. That was the fastest way he could get people in there. Because otherwise, who else was he going to try to bring back? Carmen? Maybe? I think he did. I think he managed to bring Carmen back. Or is she basically saying that why make robots if you can clone people? Maybe that's what she was trying to say. Why make cyborgs when you can just clone someone? So why weren't they humans? And I think the answer to that question is abnormalities eat people. That's just how they work. So if they were actual flesh and blood people, they would be killed, and he couldn't stand to see that happen again. I think that's what it really is. Not only that, but if he's looking at a machine, he can kind of distance his feelings. Angela was the one exception for that, and he couldn't do it. And that's why he couldn't look at her, because she reminded him so much of Carmen, he couldn't handle it.
그런데도 놀랍다. 인간을 복제할 수 있는 기술이 있다는 게. 일주일 넘게 2개 이상의 복제 인간만 도시에 존재하지 않으면 된다라. 무슨 생각인 건지.
Maybe a situation where they needed to clone a lot of people really fast to make an army. Maybe that's why the weak. I wonder. So they probably have an R Corp protocol.
나와 비슷하면서도 닮았네. 복제 인간이라는 거.
다 떠나서 복제 인간이라도 저렇게 잔혹하게 이용하는 줄은 몰랐어. 이번에 찾아오는 녀석들은 더 강하려나?
그건 잘 모르겠네. 하지만 몇천 명 가운데서 살아남은 놈이라니까 만만하지는 않을 거야.
Yeah, definitely not a pushover, but they've done this before. The real thing, or the real question that we need to be asking is, will they be stronger because now they know what they're up against? We fought them before.
공기가 무거워.
So they have information. The air feels heavy. Heavier than previous fight?
분위기는 유적에 들어온 것 같군.
Do they not remember the library? Why wouldn't they remember the library if they remember everything else?
도시의 별이면 유적과 크게 다를 바 없지.
Deja vu. What is going on?
그리고 우리는 여기서 다 되졌고.
So they know they died here, But do they not remember it? Maybe that's part of the library's mystique. Maybe it can remove memories.
그래도 맛있는 풀을 뜯을 생각에 다들 짜릿하잖아?
묘, 너는 좀 닥치고 있어라.
It all feels so similar, doesn't it?
다시 한번 환영합니다, 손님. 저는 이곳의 관장이자 사서인 엔젤라입니다.
반갑다. 나는 알사체 사무리 대장 니콜라이다.
전과 같은 말을 하는군요.
Exactly the same thing.
그런가?
엔젤라 오랜만. 계약이고 뭐고 끝났으니 편하게 말할게.
넌 아무렇지도 않아?
뭐고?
넌 네 자신을 지금까지 수없이 죽였잖아.
그래서?
Okay, now we have diverged from our previous path. This is the moment. This is where we become new people.
이봐 도서관장. 어디까지 아는 거지?
Pretty much everything. We saw everything that you did, including that weird thing with that one new R Corp intern.
너희도 어떻게 아무렇지 않을 수 있어? 너희는 인간이잖아. 어째서 정신이 무너지지 않는 거야?
대장, 아무래도 아는 것 같습니다.
그렇군. 이게 도서관의 힘이겠지.
Yeah, the library is pretty good about spying on things. If Roland really was an informant, he's in the right spot.
이렇게 사는 게 놀랍나? 온실 속 화초처럼 지내고 있는 너는 그럴 수 있겠지. 하지만 우리가 이곳까지 오며 본 것들에 비하면 이 정도는 양반이다.
That's nothing compared to what they deal with on the regular? How bad is the city? Now, I understand people have basically said that if you can imagine it, it's happening in the city right now. But how bad is it? Now, we've seen some horrible atrocities. If you take away the cute filter, the microwaves zapping our brain, for all of the abnormalities, they're pretty horrible. We've witnessed some pretty bad stuff. And if what they've seen is worse than that, that's kind of telling. It makes me feel a little uncomfortable. Honestly, a touch queasy.
충분히 견딜 수 있죠.
내가 어떻게 살았는지도 모르잖아. 너희는
Let's not go emotional right now, please. I've got bigger fish to fry. I would like to fight them and not you right now, Angela. Please don't wipe out my guests and then I have to fight you in 4 stages like a realization. I'm waiting for that to happen. Angela, like, snap, murk everybody, and then we have to deal with her, like, calming her down. That would be hilarious.
그래, 난 모르지. 그러니까 씨발 엄살 부리지 말고 서로 갈 길 가자고. 우리도 또 죽기 싫거든? 네가 어떻게 살았는지 궁금하지도 않고 알고 싶지도 않아.
Yeah, especially since if they die this time, they're dead for good.
그게 도시의 삶이니까.
Yeah, that is that. And this is
잘
this.
아는군.
부디 당신의 책을 찾으실 수 있기를.
Well, now, it's pretty much the same fight, but there's an extra act here. I'm switching off. We're going back to my Red Mist team. I want to make sure I have the right pages in here. Red Mist, Maxim, Eugen, Nikolai, and I threw a Callow in here just for kicks because I had a Rudolph, wasn't really working. I had a couple people suggest using a couple Callow builds, so I kind of combined it to them to sort of see how this is going to work. Should be pretty good, I hope. Whoa, I wasn't prepared for this. Rudolph left. No, he actually ran away. Look, 70 HP and he's gone. Oh my god, so it is different. I wasn't going to show pretty much any of these fights. I thought it was just going to be more of the same. But Rudolph booked it. I don't know if he's the only one that gets away, or maybe they all leave. And then they all come back in that 4th act. Maybe that's why, like, everything's going to be exactly the same until the last one. I don't know. I guess I'll see the next act here. Or maybe Rudolph's leaving and going to be a distortion or something. I really wish I could look ahead, but I can't. I just have to wait. I think they have more HP than they had before. But otherwise, everything else is exactly the same again. So, unless Maxim leaves, it's gonna be the same fight. Why did Rudolph leave? I need to know. Now I'm sort of anticipating Maxim booking it too. This is interesting. I haven't had Maxim either die or run yet, but we get to choose an ego page. I was warned that unfortunately, my red mist could not use any of these ego pages. That means Smile isn't going to get this massive buff that I was hoping it was going to get. But that's okay. I'm not upset at that. I understand why. Because you don't want to go infinite with like a mass attack page like this. Or this mimicry. On hit recover HP equal to the damage dealt though is pretty good. I like this because then I can heal with anyone. Yeah, let's do this one. Especially since it has bleed, and the red mist benefits from bleed. So go ahead and grab it. I can even heal my Nikolai, who is the only one that doesn't have the ability to bleed or to heal passively. But the only reason my Nikolai is even in here is to buff us and debuff them. So I really don't want them, unless I have to, I don't want them even taking clashes anymore. Especially now that we've got 4 speed die on everybody. Let's see if Maxim runs, because it's going to be close. If nothing else, we might be able to stagger him this time. Oh, wait, no, never mind. He takes less damage. I keep forgetting the more charges he has, the less damage he takes. It's okay. We're going to be one-shotting a lot of these other rhinos, though, with everyone else, just because we're so strong. There goes another rhino that's at least staggered. I've marked one. I'll probably mark him next time. I definitely think I want to mark Maxim, but I was trying to hold off. Wait a second. Do I need to hold off? Because I already have their pages. There might not be a reason for me to do that. I'm not going to manifest ego only because I don't know if I waste it between scenes or between acts. I'm not sure. I don't think so. I think I've used it before and it's been okay, but I'm going to hold off just in case. There, we finally busted through that heavy armor the dude's got. So much armor. He didn't run. Of course, he is only at 90. I think if he's going to run, it'd probably be at 70. We should be able to pretty easily... Yeah, there we go. We killed off at least 2 of the rhinos? Yeah, 2 of the rhinos. All 3. We've killed off all 3 of the rhinos, and then he's next. Is dude going to run? Good question. Focus Spirit. Nope, actually, that's the infinite one. So that's got to go Spear, then Focus Spirit, then Spear again. If he doesn't run, he's definitely dead. So, wait a second. Do I want anyone else to do some damage? Because then they can heal. My Eugen's the only one that's not pretty much max health. And my Nikolai would actually have to use my ego page. So I think I'm going to hold off. Go for it. Yeah, he's running. He's totally running. Were they told to run this time? Why are they all maybe they're scared. Because this is the first time they can actually die. Maybe that's what's going on. They're terrified. But what's going to happen to them? This isn't right. I'm so confused. Maybe it's because they brought way more people this time, but this last fight should have Nikolai in it too. Are they leaving so they can come back in Act 4 and back up Nikolai? With our powers combined, maybe they'll like combine into like a mech and I have to fight the mech. That would be silly and I would love that so much. But all I'm gonna do is just wreck this. Let's see these moves. Oh, ew, gross, I love it. Yeah! Hit all of them. Haha. Oh no. We're gonna eat rabbits. These poor rabbits. There is no way. Yeah, just even my manifest ego. Oh, that's so cool. Gives me chills. My Nikolai's doing so well now. I think, are they fully healed? They're practically fully healed again. And they just flipped emotions too. My Mio's the only one that hasn't, which is my massive tank. They need to flip now. Luckily they are, but we're doing pretty well. My Eugen is almost max health, which is actually kind of terrifying. This department is just, it's crazy how good it is. The heck? I've been trying to use her counter dice more. That's the first time I actually managed to get it to work the right way. Does she have infinite counter dice? Or is it one counter dice per speed die? So I have 4 of them. It's pretty nasty if that's the case. And I almost think that she's probably going to run this turn. Because this is going to be crazy damage. That was 42 damage. Oh no, I wasted a lot of pages. I was targeting a lot of these rabbits who are not going to be there. Well, at least this one's going to get hit pretty hard. And Mio is definitely, she's going to be pretty low. Yeah, there it is. She's leaving too, isn't she? Yeah, she's out of there. What is going on? Why are they doing this? What is happening? What is the point? Is it to prove that they can leave? Oh no, they're back. They're all here. Did you heal? That's not fair if you get to heal between fights. Of course, I also get to use 2 floors, but they get to use 4 separate floors. Oh my god. Disposal. Only usable at 20 plus charge. Upon defeating an enemy with this page, add a copy of Disposal to hand and lower its cost by 1 if target's HP is 50% or lower. Deal twice as much damage. Holy crap. What does Rudolph have? Again, arguably probably the worst of the whole. Oh no, actually no, because it's a mass attack. It's good. Rudolph finally got a decent page. Cool. Good for you, buddy. I hate to be the person to break the news to you, but it's not gonna work out. And was I right? Did I waste my Manifest Ego? I didn't. It's still here. Oh no. Oh no. You guys have had it. A lot of damage really fast. Big move. Yeah, big move time. There's a good hit. Everyone is feebled. Everyone is hurting. Now I can follow through with a lot of damage. And even more damage. What? How? How did you hit my red mist? Poor Nikolai. I am, like, ganging up on her, so she's not going to last for very long, but she is, I guess, besides the buff and debuff, unless everyone else protects her, she is kind of the weaker link out of everyone. No, that's not true. Rudolph sucks. Rudolph is pretty bad. I could probably build a decent Rudolph, but unless Rudolph is actively healing their HP and then you keep them alive while they're staggered, it just feels like his gimmick is just too much. Kind of like Bayard, his gimmick's too much too. There's just too much downtime for each of them. Especially now. Especially since I can just do a massive mass attack that's just going to wipe out some pretty awesome cards. Or no good cards because they're not really using decent ones. Okay, it can just randomly pick whatever. I really don't care. Hopefully a stupid amount of damage. And the only reason I really want to show this fight is because in case something really cool happens. I'm expecting either distortion level events or a mass attack that staggers everyone on the same turn. Oh no, Maxim's probably the only one. Yeah, that's what I thought. Maxim's the only one that's not dead. Oh man, that's crazy. Oh, and I keep getting rid of what they say. They're probably saying something interesting this time. I keep thinking this is like the boring fight. It's not. Okay, I'll pay attention now. I'll see what they have to say. Mio's the only one that's still up. Everyone else is so screwed. Hey, I haven't had a chance to use this yet. Would you like to test this out for me and see how it feels? Lots and lots and lots of damage. For everybody. Is anyone getting out of here alive? That's the question. If anyone, it's gonna be Mio, right? She's gonna get out of here alive? Because she's like a main character even though she's not. No, she died. To die at the hands of a hero. Aww. It's all a matter of mental prowess. Thanks for staying with me till the end. Oh my god. To taste defeat again. They all died. I was totally expecting something else. Maybe a distortion or something. That didn't happen. I'm kind of disappointed if I'm gonna be honest. Do I get new pages though? I feel like I should get new pages. Or I should be gifted their mass attacks that they had. Those were nice and I want them. The red mist unlocked. Oh no, they're wolf ears. Say bunny ears. It's so cute. While possessing big and will be bad wolf's abnormality, page 5% chance to boost attack damage by 1. The armor? It's not good. None of the armor is any good. But I'm glad I have all of it now.
롤랑, 너도 내가 엄살 부린다고 생각해?
If you have to ask, then the answer is yes. Oh, God. I don't know why, but I'm so giggly with her idea of, am I actually a crybaby, Roland? Please tell me I'm not a crybaby. I'm making fun of her a little bit, but Angela and I, we're on first name basis now. I can get away with this, especially since she doesn't know I'm here. But it makes me kind of giggle because that's such a human emotion. That's something that Angela would not have ever done in the past. It makes me see that she's really becoming one of us. Because I've done that before too, and that's why I can giggle at her. Is I will own up to the fact that I have looked at someone and be like, am I being a little much right now? Just ask my sister. I ask her that all the time. And she's like, yes. Yes. So I found, and Angela will learn this eventually, that if you actually have to ask, then it probably yes is the answer.
아니, 난 네가 어떤 삶을 살았는지 간접적으로 봐서 전혀 그렇게 생각 안 해.
Aww. My guy. My Roland in shining armor here to help. Holy crap. Good for you. Comfort her. She needs it. She's been through a lot.
난 조금 두려워졌어.
That's natural. What, scared of what?
내가 지닌 아픔이 누구나 견딜 수 있는 아픔인데 유난 떠는 걸까봐.
That is such a real feeling, isn't it? I don't know about everyone else, but I feel that all the time. Like, am I making a big deal of something that doesn't need to be? Am I making this worse on myself? Am I just weak? Is all this mental anguish that I experience in this day where I felt like it was a lot, is this just normal for people? There's also times that I like look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, am I really like just a horrible person? And the only reason people even deal with me is because, you know, most of the time if it's like family, they have to, or like roommates who are stuck together. Is that why? Like there's that, and again, I feel like these are all emotions that people just experience. But she's going through it. She's going through it for the first time. It gets easier, you know, the more that you have this idea, like, is it just me? It gets easier to tell yourself, yes, it is. Or no, it's not, most of the time.
저들은 더한 것도 봤다고 했잖아. 이 정도면 견딜 수 있다고.
Yeah, but everyone feels that way. Everyone feels like what I'm currently going through is way worse than everyone else. And it is. I'm not here to tell anyone that what I went through is worse, what you went through is worse, what Jimmy Bob, Joe Bob, Joseph went through is worse. What I'm here to say is that everyone is going through the worst thing that they could possibly imagine. And that's because everyone has their own, I always say this, everyone has their own cross to bear. Everyone has their own issues that they have to deal with. And it's not better or worse than anyone else. People also have their own happinesses that they get to go through. And it's not better or worse than anyone else. And she's experiencing this for the very first time. And this is so raw. It's amazing to see this. We've talked about so much in this. There's so much to the story. Arguably, that would be what a filler episode is. The action, not so great, but it gives you so much backstory. So yes, it is. It's 100% a filler episode, but it's a good one. I love it when they take the time. This is a lot like a Project Lore build, except for the story. I love it when they take the time to be like, okay, this isn't going to be great. You're not going to love the fight, because it was kind of a lot of the same. There was one card that each one of them got that they didn't even get a chance to use because we're just overpowered by the time that they show up. But also, arguably, one of the best episodes to show us actual information of the city singularities, answer so many questions, tie up a lot of loose ends. And now we get to see Angela lay it all out there for us, to open up her heart to Roland and to us. And I know I go off on tangents a lot of times. I do apologize.
정말 내가 더한 걸 못 봤기 때문에.
You never had the chance, Angela. You never had the chance.
그래서 그들에게 아무것도 아닌 것 따위에도 이렇게 힘들어하고 있는 걸까?
그런 건 신경 쓰지 마. 지금 진인 아픔만이 소중한 거니까.
Yes! Oh, Roland. My knight in shining armor coming through and explaining everything I just said in 30 minutes in 10 seconds. He is my TLDR. My beautiful TLDR. Thank you.
그 고통을 안고 쭉 나아가면 되는 거야. 주변에서 네 아픔에 대해 뭐라 말하는지 말할지 신경 쓰지 말고.
Right. Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say.
네가 굳이 누군가의 기준에 맞출 필요 없어.
사람마다 받아들이는 게 다르다는 거야?
Yes. 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 Yes.
뭐 쉽게 말하면 그런 거지.
Yeah, that is that, and this is this.
그런 거로 어리광이다, 엄살이다 자기들끼리 기준을 나누긴 하는데 그냥 무시하는 게 좋아.
고마워. 덕분에 조금 힘이 나네.
Yeah, it won't go all the way. You'll still feel it. It burns a little bit. I don't like it either. Also, sometimes makes you feel a little nauseous, possibly gives you a headache. If you're feeling any of those symptoms, you're okay. You'll get over it. I mean, that sounded harsh. No, you will learn to cope with it, is what I meant to say. It's okay, you'll get over it.
고마울 것까지야.
That's not what I
내가
meant.
믿고 있는 걸 말했을 뿐이야.
Good. Gosh, Roland and I, we're on the same wavelength a lot of times. Roland is such a dude. Well, you know what I mean. Like, Roland really embodies most of us, doesn't he? A lot of times. Someone that's gone through some harsh times. Obviously, we don't understand what's going on in his head, but just the whole vibe most of the time. I can really resonate with it. I don't know if that says a lot about me or Roland, or I think it says a lot about Project Moon and how well written all these characters are, because they're amazing. Well, that means that there's only one last thing for us to do, and that is the floor of social sciences. Unfortunately, though, I have talked myself out of time, so we're going to have to do this in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, and goodbye!